Sure. So a lot of people are saying we've never seen anything like this AI revolution. And I beg to differ. I don't think you have to go back to the industrial revolution. I think you can just go back to the 90s and the dot-com boom or bust. And, I don't know how old your average audience member is, but I'm
I think the
43.
analytics is like
Yeah.
27 to 35 is the majority of the audience.
Yeah, so I can explain very simply. There was this thing, it was invented by the US Army called the World Wide Web. We now know that as the internet.
Mhm.
And everyone would say that was going to change the world, and it absolutely did. And all these companies, just like we see now with AI, started popping up. And different to what we see now was a very immature investment market. So people were taking life savings. Companies were balance sheet investing in these startups that didn't really have a product, but more of a promise.
Mhm.
They were solutions looking for problems. And some of those were legit. So your eBays, your PayPals, your Googles, they all started in those days. And all of a sudden there was this great big boom and we had the internet. And before that, you had to fax your translation work to our office, and we would sit there with those clickers, like when you're going in and out of a club. And
That's
that's how we
crazy.
counted words.
How do you
And it's how
manage
we
that?
charged people.
It's
Yes,
crazy.
there was no Microsoft Word. There was Lotus Notes. That was exciting. Probably your
Hmm.
viewers don't know Lotus. So, but it was an IBM version of Microsoft Office. And it was all insane. And then around, I think it was 98, 99, the bust happened. And that was where a lot of these businesses, they didn't really add any value on top of the internet. They weren't really doing anything. And, they just went from billions of dollars of valuation overnight to zero, and people lost a lot of money. But there were some good companies that solved real problems, like Google, sorted through all of the content and indexed it, and it was a good solution. Like you could find the websites that you needed to find. eBay allowed like anyone to open up a virtual store. PayPal allowed us to pay, but the big issue with it was logistics because everything had to catch up. You could sell your antiques to a Chinese dealer in China through eBay, but how do you get your antique to China? Well, there wasn't an easy way to ship it back in those days, and it was very expensive. So
Mm.
all the same stuff that you're seeing now, talked with AI, where we've got solutions to problems, but there's too many missing components to really make it, electrifying yet. That's going to come.